Hello, you wonderful, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back. My name's Tiara. My channel's 𝘀🐺🆏🆏🆏🆏, and I'm playing Fallout New Vegas Blind in 2021. I believe I'm about to speak to MOBIUS for the first time, and I'm kind of excited. I've been waiting for this moment. No, not yet. Ooh, this looks just like the think tank. Is that him? Is he just staring at a screen? He's also got the eye watching over him. Okay, so that must be MOBIUS. Then what is that? Okay, wait. MOBIUS, you're gonna have to wait a second. Brain tank. Is that where my brain is? Or is that where MOBIUS's brain is? Hi, MOBIUS.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps?
Yes,
It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright.
Thank you.
A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
I don't want to fight him. I'm not going to ask him to surrender, though. I'm not here to kill him. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine.
I can
It
imagine.
went black a while ago. That's old age for you.
Nice.
Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
That must have been MOBIUS's house that I was in, the one with all the mentats. I'll save it for later.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty.
I'm sure.
I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Oh. I mean, you're not exactly what I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. He's not exactly what I was expecting. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I don't think this was it.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical MOBIUS is better than I.
Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly?
Anomaly?
You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were.
I'm always
If you were to go back
Even
with
when
what
it's not me
your
doing it.
brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Exactly. Why is that a problem? Oh, for brains to be moving around of their own volition. I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Oh, okay. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting a ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Okay, alright. You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
What? Okay, so what purpose did it serve?
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Okay. Can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Okay, so it sounds like you built the robo-scorpions. Issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
Yep, them raisins. I know them real well. Okay, so everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name, MOBIUS.
Dr. MOBIUS. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
So you reprogram their names as part of a recursion loop. What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember.
Oh.
I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Okay. A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan C's in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. so I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several plan Bs in case the A's fail.
Okay, so I was right. They're the villains, and he was the only ethical one that wanted to keep them from doing stupid shit out in the real world. Okay, Klein, Mobius, O is circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops. I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Quiet professional, yes. Okay. It is kind of an asshole thing to do to your friends, you know, lobotomize them and change the way their brains work. But I want to do the intelligence check. Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so if you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason.
For a reason?
That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Oh, okay. But there must have been other signs of a larger world. Yeah, there were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, the only wrinkle is the one that Bullet made going into my brain pan.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis.
Yes, yes.
But it was enough for the auto dock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Okay. Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth.
Okay.
My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Okay. But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Okay, so that means when I go back there, they're not gonna be robots anymore. Like, they're gonna stick their brains in people and try and walk out of there. Alright, whatever. Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive 𝗀𝗵𝗲𝗏𝗏 broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them.
Oh.
You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
I mean, alright, what is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Okay, so I was curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
Yes, I am, actually. Why do I have to say enough? I'm here to kill you. Why? I don't want to kill him. Can I leave the conversation some other way? Oh.
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter.
No, I don't...
How should we begin? Engineering viruses? Canceratic beams? Atomics? Electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
What minions? You mean the scorpions?
Whoa, have they not constructed themselves yet? That's a bit premature of me. The robo-scorpions, of course. They can assemble themselves from floor panels and parts scattered about.
That's
Quite
so
inventive. Never really know when they might suddenly appear.
That's why they're everywhere.
Minions, destroy this intruder! Or perhaps make it more dramatic. Minions, to me!
I didn't want to kill Mobius.
Oh, yes, that's quite a bit better.
Time to fight.
Oh, he just used a stealth boy, but you can still see his eyeball and mouth. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, goodbye, Mobius. Sorry. This is not how I wanted this to end. Oh, I wanted to satisfy his curiosity about what it's like to be killed. That was the quest. Well, it makes me feel less bad that it was his choice. Yes, I know. Give me 1 second. Everything will be fine in just a second. Alright, cool. Oh, wow. He really did write everywhere. That's crazy. So, can I learn what's up with those eyes on the screen then? Or is that just part of his threats to make them scared? Talk. Brain tank. Do I get to talk to my own brain now?
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Why does my brain sound so masculine?
Ah, well, as to that, you'd be surprised how hard a feminine-sounding voice modulator is to find in the Forbidden Zone. It's not as though brain-sustaining life support tanks grow on trees. I had to take what I could get.
Okay, are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why does my brain weirdly sound like the type of sarcasm I would do just to be mean? There's no need to be so sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
No, we haven't bathed this entire time. What about you? That tank isn't exactly looking springtime fresh.
Well, that's a completely different matter. The tank isn't biological. It's not the same at all.
Okay. Alright. Alright, listen, you're my brain, so you'd better be more respectful.
Oh, had I?
Yes.
What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid.
What, you don't want to be back in my head? I could smash this tank you're in, how about that? I've been doing just fine without a brain so far.
By all means, if the idea of spending the rest of your days as a true lobotomite appeals to you.
That is true.
Actually, come to think of it, you probably wouldn't mind that, would you?
That is true. Yeah, this is what happens when you got no brain. You don't actually think about what's going on. How the hell did Mobius get a hold of my brain?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Interesting. How did he manage that, though? Yeah, it seems like well, it's not really unlikely. How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
Oh, yeah. It seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Okay, well, that answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
This is too weird. I'll be back later.
Barring the unlikely event that I evolve some sort of rocket-propelled locomotion, I will be here.
Alright, how the hell do I get my brain out of the tank? Do I not need it? Or do I have to... Hold up, let me just check the quest. Retrieve your brain from the Forbidden Zone. Can I just bop the tank and open it? Oh, take Dr. Mobius's glove.
I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
I'm sure. Oh my... Can I even carry all of this? Imagine how much money I would get if I sold this. I'm gonna carry all this. I don't care. I'm gonna drop something. Dr. Mobius's scrubs. I will be taking that. I'm over encumbered. How do I get the brain out? Is there like a big red button I can push? Look, I'm not as smart without my brain, please. Yeah. No. No, okay.
Ah, the meat has returned. Lovely.
Are you my brain? Yes, yes, yes. Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge.
But aren't you, though?
And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I am the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem quite right. That stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun?
Sure.
Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we?
You don't have to deal with the rickets, that's
The things
me.
you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
What are you gonna get done? You got no legs to move you. Yeah, too bad. I've got arms. You don't. You're coming with me.
I can see there's going to be no reasoning with you at all, is there? I'm nothing more than a slave to your deranged glandular whims.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Well, I mean, if you like being stuck in there so much, maybe I'll just leave you.
Oh no. Please, don't leave me here in this nice, safe dome where I have access to nutritive fluids and a fully indexed library. Please don't deprive me of being dragged through a landscape so bleak it was actually improved by the end of the world. I don't know how I could bear it.
Okay. Look at what happened to the think tank. Do you want to end up like them after a few hundred years? Look at him. It's like a breakup. Why did you never say anything about how you felt before? Nah.
It's true, the brains here have experienced some degree of deterioration. I'm confident that with a few decades of work, I can solve the problem.
Then surely you've taken into account the corrosive effects of long-term exposure to biogel.
Of course I accounted for that! Do you think I'm so stupid?
Yes, actually.
No, you're right. Maintaining my current functionality will be harder than I thought. This bears some further looking into.
And what would happen to me if I left you here?
Let me see. I suppose you'd continue on much as you are now, using that synthetic thinking machine to do the heavy lifting. Unless, of course, the batteries run out. But that seems unlikely.
And if I put you back?
I'm not entirely sure. I suppose there's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us. What form that might take, though, I cannot say.
Should I take my brain? The fact that that's even being contested right now in my, I guess, non-brain, my synthetic brain. I'm pretty sure not having a brain does actually give me some positives, though, but I want to know what this mysterious synergy is. Okay, come on, let's go. We're getting out of here.
Ugh, crawl back in there? Are you mad?
You can't crawl.
I don't know where you've been.
You don't have arms and legs.
For all I know, you're riddled with disease.
Sounds
or
about right.
packing one of those delightful head wounds you seem to attract.
Also sounds about right.
I'm not crawling back into your head just to ooze right back out again.
I love how I can Black Widow the brain, like my own brain that has a male voice. I can use the black. Come on, you're my brain, I'm your body. This is meant to be, baby.
Are you coming on to me? Sweet Lord, I don't even have the words for how repugnantly wrong that is. Please tell me we weren't that perverse when I was in your head. Anyways, even if that was on the table, we have a problem. Even if I wanted to settle myself back in your skull and go to all the trouble of reconnecting nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Let's go make them share. Come on, brain, it's stopping time. I mean, genuinely though, why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Okay. You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day.
Exactly.
All right. What's the plan?
I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head. If the think tank won't hold up to their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Oh shit, I just have my brain? Okay. Let's see, I know that there was one of the... Yeah, okay. So in here somewhere there should be toaster, muggy, all of that. It could be in this other room though, which I would need the specific gun thing for. Oh my gosh. Okay, well this is all I'm doing for this episode. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.